And thank you and welcome in. I'm Tom Pace, the host of the Talk of the Town on the Promise 90.7 FM, streaming live also on the World Wide Web at promisetalkradio.org. Now today I'm honored to have a very special guest on a conversation with here from the Comcast Citywide TV studios right here in Shreveport, Louisiana. She is a woman who has inspired many through her tenacity in fighting a disease that many would consider debilitating. She has not let that slow her down. And she is also an inspiration in terms of government leadership, because she's been in it for 14 years, going on 15, and still gets the job done every day. I'm talking about Caddo Commissioner Joyce Bowman today. Now, she used to be a city council representative here in Shreveport, and she's done so many other things, but I am blessed that we are blessed with the presence of Councilman Commissioner Joyce Bowman here in the Comcast Citywide TV studios today. And Joyce, thanks so much for being here.
I appreciate the opportunity.
Well, I tell you what, it's no surprise that you are such an inspiration to people. You know, I looked up in the dictionary. There's politicians and there's legislators. Somebody might say, well, Tom, what's the difference between a politician and a legislator? I'd say you are a legislator. I
could very well be considered a legislator, but you know, early on, I've always considered myself a servant. I'm a servant first. And it's always your job to serve those that put you there.
And one of the things that we need to understand is you are a very religious woman with a lot of principles. Family comes first, well, right after God. And for that, I guess you feel like you're doing His will, correct?
I do believe that. I've always considered public service my mission in life. And I think that even with the circumstances that I find myself in now, it's a part of my mission as well. I didn't understand it at first, but then I realized this is not about you, Joyce. This is bigger than you. Your purpose is being fulfilled now. And that's the way I accept this. Otherwise, you can go home and lie down and never get up. But you've got to keep moving. And that's my message to others who are out there going through worse than me, worse than I am. You know, when I was at Weissweiler one day, and I was there to have treatment, I looked around and there were people walking in, leaning on others, some moaning because they were in pain. I walked in there on my own 2 feet. And at that point, even till now, I've only had one episode where I needed pain pills. I have not taken any narcotics. I'm blessed.
You truly are. And the other thing that people need to understand is what your situation is as far as your illness. How did it start? How long ago it is? And what is the current status?
Back July last year, July 24th. Was the date that I got the results. 2 days before that, I discovered a knot, a huge one, in my left side of my neck. I called my doctor, and he took me in, and I mean, they got busy immediately. But on July 24th, I was told that I had stage 4 cancer. I was told that basically you need to go home and get ready to leave here. That there was basically nothing they could do for me.
Stage 4 of what organ?
The lungs,
okay.
But it had spread to the liver, it had spread to the spine, it had spread to the pelvic, it had spread to the bone. I mean, cancer was basically taking over. Huge mass in my spine. According to man, I'm not supposed to be here. But because I serve a higher power, I'm here. And because of the prayers of so many that are going up on my behalf, I'm here.
Well, and then the next roadblock that came to your treatment happened to be dealing with the brain.
Exactly.
Tell me about that.
Now, that really, I've always prayed, because I've watched people go through a lot of brain injuries, whatever, but I've always prayed that that never happens to me. Do you know how wonderful it is to wake up and open your eyes and you actually see? When you can actually taste, I mean really taste, you feel. I mean, you have your 5 senses. That's something we all really take for granted. It's like, oh, this is a natural, this is gonna happen anyway. No, it's not. And the day they told me that it had metastasized and it had gone to my brain, that was devastating, because that's something I never, you can be anywhere you want to be, just don't touch my brain. But there it was. Okay, Joyce, how are you going to deal with this now?
When did that happen now?
This was almost a month ago. And they told me at the hospital that there was the neurologist did this new procedure, well, not really new, but fairly new, called the gamma knife. And they could probably go and use that and try to zap it or whatever. Well, then a couple of days later, they said that I wasn't a candidate for it. Then, it was like my hopes were up so high for that. Then they said, well, it has metastasized so that you're just not a good candidate.
For the gamma knife procedure.
For the gamma knife procedure. But we will do a full head radiation, and that's what I've been going through. I had a scan on yesterday, so we'll see where we are after that. I don't have any results yet. But one of the things that I started doing after that was honestly, fervently praying that I could at least be able to see. I mean, I know it's there. This is reality. Faith without works is dead. You've got to do something with this. And that's why I was continuously calling upon so many others. Pray with me. We've come this far. We've come this far by faith. Because medically, with all of this going on,
You're not supposed to be here,
I'm
actually.
not supposed to be here.
Now, and we're taping this. It's today is April the 9th, 2013. You just had the procedure, and so now you're waiting for the results.
Right.
And this is soon to be going up on a year, the Lord willing,
basically
in July.
8 months on the 24th of this month.
Of this month, 8 months. But this has spread rampant throughout your body.
Right.
People would be asking you, Miss Joyce, are you feeling ill? How bad do you have these days, and are there good days?
I basically, well, to be honest with you, every day is a good day now. Every day I wake up and I see the sun coming through the window at my house. Oh, it's a good day. Now, as far as the pain is concerned and suffering, I have what I consider minor aches and pains because I've seen others truly suffer. So therefore, this little bit that I'm going through is practically nothing because I'm here. A lot of them can't leave the bed. A lot of them can't leave home, but I'm here.
She is truly an emissary from God, ladies and gentlemen, and we're here with Miss Joyce Bowman today as she kind of recounts her life, what has happened to her as far as what illness has befallen her in this 8 months and where she's going from here. In so many words, she's here by the grace of God, and she praises Him every day. If you look at her and in this beautiful pink outfit, that also would be symbolic of the fight against cancer.
Exactly.
And also, you've got this beautiful scarf. Where did that come from?
One of my prayer warriors sent this to me. I don't remember names or whatever because I get so many cards and I get so many gifts like quilts, and people who have cap ministries for chemo patients, and people are just wonderful. We know that there's a lot of evil in this world, but the good outweighs the bad every day. When you see that people opened their hearts to me, not even knowing me, and gave me over 2,600 cards. I've quit counting. I just can't keep up with so many of them.
And then there's emails too, I guess.
Emails, cards, calls. It's unbelievable for other folks to know that people actually care.
And I guess the other part that I'm thinking about is your family has been so supportive of you during this time. Tell everybody about your family.
My family, and I basically feel sorry for them more than I do for anybody else going through this, because they're going through it with me. I have my husband and my 2 sons, especially.
Your husband's name?
My husband is Jerry, but Jerry has gone to every treatment I've had, every appointment, but so has my son, my older son. Now, my younger son lives in New Orleans, and naturally he's worried. He calls every day, 2 and 3 times a day.
And their names?
And that's Jerry Jr. and Gerald. We're all J's. But they've been extremely supportive. However, I'm cognizant of what they must feel, what they must be going through as well, because they know. And sometimes, their faith might not be as strong as mine. I consider that as well. But I know that you're going through something. That's why I try to do as much as I can for myself while I can. Because at some point, if it's God's will, I'll end up relying on them even more. But I look at them and I pray for them. And I also pray that if God chooses, if He chooses to let this be my last time here, that He will so honor the prayers that I have prayed over the years for my family.
Hold on to that thought. We're going to take a quick break. It's going to be about 2 minutes. When we come back, we're going to continue our conversation with Miss Joyce Bowman in her fight against cancer and in her mission on life to do God's will. And right here on Comcast Citywide TV presents a conversation with Joyce Bowman. And we're also going to look at all these cards, all the letters that she's received supporting her. I'm Tom Pace. Stand by. We'll be right back. And our director, producer, and you name him, Al Moore, says, Q Tom, and so we're back. Comcast Citywide TV presents conversation with Miss Joyce Bowman today, a former Shreveport councilwoman and now a Caddo commissioner, and still actively participating in the commission meetings, in spite of the fact she is afflicted with almost an untreatable cancer. However, she is surviving and she is doing God's will. And the last we talked, Miss Joyce, you talked about all of the people wishing you well that you're getting cards from you don't even know.
I have no idea who they are. And the majority of the ones that I do receive, Tom, for instance, that one, they all say, Miss Bowman, you don't know me. But, and then I always smile when I look at that, because yes, I know you because you are me. There's not one person that I know who has not been affected by cancer. It's a monster, one way or the other. If it's not a relative, it's a friend, it's a co-worker. So we all are affected one way or the other. And I believe that that is what draws people also.
And whenever you look at all these cards and these letters that they have sent, and we're just going to hold up a few, because what you need to know is Miss Joyce has now received, she said 2,600, but she stopped counting. I think it's probably well over 3,000, Miss Joyce.
It's quite a few, and I cannot keep the numbers going, but I appreciate each and every one. I read each and every one.
Wait a minute. You read each and every one?
There's not one that has come to my house that I have not read. I get up 2, 3 o'clock in the morning and just start reading.
And look at this. These are just beautiful. They have come to Miss Joyce from people she has no idea who they are. And then on top of everything else, they're coming from all over. She tells me Natchitoches, Avenger, Texas.
Texarkana. Wilton, Arkansas.
Yes.
Monroe. Natchitoches. Pleasant Hill, Louisiana. Just everywhere. It's amazing.
Well, and I was just looking a moment ago. Here are these from prisoners,
yes.
Inmates who have sent you letters.
Sent letters, they've sent cards, they've drawn pictures. It's amazing. These are the ones I try my hardest to reply to. I can't reply to everybody, but I pray for a lot of these folks. These are the ones that touch me so much because here they are in their situation. I don't know what they've done. They didn't say what they've done, and I don't care. All I know is they thought of me, and they sent me cards, and they sent letters, and they drew paintings. They are talented in there.
They drew paintings?
Oh, yes.
And I'll just, dear Miss Bowman, I'm so sorry to hear about the situation regarding your surgery. I feel God has a better and marvelous testimony for you every day. We're going to pray for you, but mainly have faith you're going to beat this. For some reason, God keeps me on top of this more than anything, and I feel it's for a good reason. If there's anything I can do, please feel free to ask me. You know what? This is a man who is incarcerated, and he's asking if there's anything he can do for you.
Exactly, and that's what the most of them are as well, and telling me their favorite scriptures and that they're praying for me daily. And I said, God can use anybody, anyone.
Here, wishing you peacefulness today. That kind comes from knowing that the strength and courage you've always had are still within you now. You look at things like this and you go, do those people really have any idea what this does for me? It's such a blessing to you. Is that the deal?
They inspire me, and so many of them in the cards say I inspire them. They just don't know. Reading their cards, knowing what they are thinking and that they're praying for me, I have nothing but inspiration from that.
Now, help me with this, because I know that you're getting all these cards, you're getting the emails. What do you really, honestly, heart of hearts, believe your mission is now? Is it for you? Is it for them? What is it?
It's no longer for me. In the beginning, I was devastated when I first got the news. Trust me, I was. And then after having a little bit of time, I realized, Joyce, this is bigger than you. Joyce, this is not about you. God gets the glory out of everybody that calls upon his name praying for you. People who might not have prayed before called his name, and they called on my behalf. But he's getting the glory. His name is being magnified throughout all of this. That's what's important now. It's not about me. If God decides to take me home tonight, I don't fear death. I had this conversation with my pastor, Dr. Jackson, while I was in the hospital a couple of months ago. And I let him know, I have no fear of death. I have a certain fear of the unknown. And this is the way he explained it to me, which was just beautiful. He said, it's like a baby that's been in the mother's womb for so long. And then that baby's got to come out. But he's comfortable where he's been all of these 9 months. And when he does come out, he's coming into a new world, something that he's never experienced before. Then that's basically the only concern, maybe. And it's not really a concern because of my belief, because of my faith. Trust me, I have done things that, I'm just so thankful that the God I serve is merciful and that he's a forgiving God. No one is perfect. But I'm at a point now in my life, I realize that, hey, every day is a good day. Every day you open your eyes, Joyce, it's a blessing to be here. Every day I take the time now and look at things, pay attention to the birds, chirping and just how the trees are and the flowers are blooming. I didn't pay attention to a lot of things at first, things we take for granted because we're doing fine. Oh, I pay attention now.
And if the good Lord, you said, should call you home tonight.
Right.
Have you thought about how you would want to be remembered? Say the inscription on a headstone or something. I know this kind of sounds funny.
I do understand, but you see, I've even come to the point that all that hasn't been done, all that hasn't been said, there's an old song, give me my flowers while I can see them.
Absolutely.
Say all those nice kind things like these cards, all of this, I see them. I read it. I feel it.
Send it to you today.
I do it now. Because once I'm gone, I would know what you did. So it doesn't matter. All that I have done as a servant of God and His people, I've done it. I wanted to receive whatever now while I can feel, touch, and see.
Well, I mean, if one were to say anything about you in
all
that,
of
that way.
that other doesn't matter
Right.
after I'm gone.
Well, in other words, though, I guess what I'm saying is, if somebody said she was a servant of God, that would be...
That's perfect. That's perfect. All the rest of it is history at that point. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Tom, do you know that when I pray for myself, I pray for others? But one of the things I learned a long time ago, and it was an old song, and I use it as a prayer when I can't think of anything else to say. And it's called Abide With Me. And if you don't mind, it says, Abide with me. Fast falls the eventide. The darkness deepens. Lord, with me abide. When other helpers fail and comforts flee, help of the helpless, oh, abide with me. It says, I need thy presence every passing hour. What but thy grace can foil the tempter's power? Who like thyself my joy and state shall be? In life, in death, oh Lord, abide with me. I've known that for years, but it has more meaning now than ever.
Do you, and as you look upon your life, your family, what God's blessed you with, your various services to your constituents even, and I understand you're all about serving others, and you're still on the commission and attending meetings today. What does that mean to you that you can still help them?
It means a lot, and the old saying, I wouldn't take nothing for my journey now. I wouldn't take nothing for it because it's been rewarding, it's been fulfilling. And I can sit back and look over my life and see the accomplishments and just know that I did make a difference in this world.
And so you have, and over at Blue Cliff College, they had a big event. What was that?
That not only did they have the event in my honor, but the Louisiana Life Share blood drive was there. And they told me that this was the first time that they had as many African Americans give blood in one day. I was just too amazed. I said, hallelujah, God still gets the glory.
There you have it. Now, you know, we've got about a minute left, and I can tell you that we probably could have done 2 hours today with Miss Joyce, and the fact that she took a half hour out of her day to come here over at Comcast Citywide TV means all the world to me. It's a blessing for me to be able to sit here and talk with her and hear your testimony, Miss Joyce. And we just want to bless you with all the prayers and all the strength that we can give you, okay?
I appreciate that. I do.
God bless you, and may your journey be one of happiness, okay?
I believe it will be.
Thank you, Miss Joyce.
Thank you.
Joyce Bowman here on the Talk of the Town with Tom Pace, live in the Comcast Citywide TV studios. A conversation with Miss Bowman. If you've been touched, just remember she takes your cards. Is there an address?
3623 Milton Street, Shreveport 70009.
3623 Milton Street, Shreveport,
71109.
09. That's her address. Send her a card, send her a letter, let her know you're praying for her. Till the next time, may God bless us till we meet again. I'm Tom Pace. Have a good day.